What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis. Today I have a special video for you guys. It has been a long year and we've had lots of different quads on the channel, and today we're going to talk about one of the best micro freestyle brushless FPV race quads that you can possibly get your hands on. This is going to be the Geprc Phantom HD, and it's been a while since we talked about the Phantom on the channel, but this has been one of my favorites for about a year now, and one of the reasons that this one is going to break through as the freestyle HD quad of the year is for a lot of reasons, and we're going to talk about those reasons in this video. First up, the original Phantom with the analog setup. If you want to grab one, they are around $150, which is a pretty awesome deal for something that flies so good, all the way up to a 4S battery. You can run a 2S 450 on here, you can run a 3S 450 and a 4S 450 on here, and get some extreme performance with such a small package, a super smooth tune, and just something that has a lot of versatility, and it's not super noisy. So if you're looking for something that you can fly quietly around a small area, park, baseball field, something like where you don't have a lot of space, or you want to do some big air flying, this quad flies a lot like a little miniature 5-inch. So if you're looking for like your second quad after you have flown something like a little indoor whoop or something like that, and you're looking to get outside, this one is an absolute beast outside. Not really something for indoors, but I think that the layout on here is pretty much the same. They might have raised it up about 5 millimeters to accommodate this Cadex Vista on here, and it has the nebula camera in the front, and the Vista is sort of kind of hanging from the top plate with this 4-post system they have on here, and there's dampening in between the Vista unit and the top plate. So we have beveled edges all around this entire frame, top to bottom. We have a unibody on the bottom here, and it looks like it's about 3 millimeter carbon fiber. And we also have the Geprc all-in-one F4 AIO. It has 20 amp ESCs on here. So this one's been updated to be the 20 amp version, and we have a power system on here running 2.5-inch props. These are 1105 5000 kV motors. They have 4 bolts on the bottom going through that unibody, and in between my Vista and my flight controller is where my XM Plus sits. So you can put any receiver on here. It does only have 2 UARTs on this particular flight controller, so you might be limited there with limited UARTs. But we also have a singular antenna mount on the very back for the Cadex Vista antenna. It's a TPU mount, also accommodates a vertical post right here for this XT30 connector. So it's kind of nice that they keep that out of the props. That way it doesn't cut your wire while you're flying it. And then on the bottom, I just have my XM Plus antennas coming out the bottom just like that. And it is a very simple and easy to work on quad. I did set this one up myself. There's also the bind and fly option where you don't have to do any building, but all I had to do was put the Cadex Vista, mount the Cadex Vista on here. So you can get full OSD in your DJI goggles, which makes this an amazing flying quad. I've been talking about digital FPV system on my channel for over a year now, and once I got my goggles, I was blown away with the difference. It's like moving from watching a VHS tape from the 1980s to 1080p HD flat screen TV. I mean, and with the new 50 megabit update from DJI, it makes the cameras look even better. So you can record with the onboard DVR, or you can record with the onboard on your goggles DVR, not onboard DVR here. This one does not have a micro SD card. So it's the biggest difference between the full size air unit, which I have sitting over there. You can put a micro SD card in there, record 1080p video. This one is limited to the goggles. But I would like to see in a future version of this that they take this, maybe they decase just like Beta FPV did on their 85X. And some of you guys might be like, well, what about the 85X versus the Phantom HD? Isn't the 85X HD better than the Phantom? And I would say that the 85X has its own place It is more of a whoop class. You can get it 75mm or the 85mm frame version, but it will not freestyle half as good as this. So this is the freestyle micro category that we're talking about here for 2020. So this one is on the tops, and last year the Phantom did amazing on my channel. So it was one of my top 5 recommended micro brushless last year, and this one again is coming in at that super sweet spot that I enjoy, the 1103 to 1105 series motors with something that can fly 2 to 4S. It's a pretty good battery range, so I'm gonna leave that up to you, what you decide to pick for the battery range. You can have a lot of fun on 2S with this quad, which is amazing. It flies great on 2S, and it takes me back to the early days of micro brushless. You can also fly it on 3 and 4. So for the more intermediate to advanced pilots, go 4S. If you're just starting out, this is your second quad, start out with something like a 2S 450 on here. You're still gonna get a nice cruising time around 5 minutes on here. So I think you could get 6 minutes to 7 minutes on a 4S 450 if you're cruising. So freestyle flight times were somewhere around the, I'd say 4.5 minute flight time to 5 minute, still getting me a really long flight time. But we're gonna go ahead and do a flight test now, guys, with the Phantom HD, and let's get this up in the air so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It is an absolute beast in the air with an amazing tune. So here we go, let's do some flying. We'll come back in, I'll give you some final thoughts on the HD version. Here we go, guys, let's do it. All right, guys, welcome back from the flight break. So what did you think? What did you guys honestly think about the performance of this quad? I mean, you're looking at it over the internet, so it's easy to see whether a tune is good or not on someone's FPV video that they've recorded from the goggles, mainly because there's no cheating. As long as someone didn't use like stabilization or real steady, you can see vibrations, and if you see vibrations, you know that there's one of two things happening. You have a terrible props on the quad, or there's not a good tune on the flight controller. So I have to say that the tune and the way everything's balanced on here worked out really well. It is super smooth, and I was blown away with the 2S performance of this quad. So if you want to fly these 1105s on 2S, it will do power loops on 2S, which is, I mean, it's crazy that it does power loops on the 2S 450. And then when you move up to 3S and 4S, it just opens this thing up to a total beast mode. The power weight ratio is great. It's kind of like the next step up from the Emax, like Tiny Hawk Freestyle, if you will. So the Tiny Hawk Freestyle is ultra lightweight, and then this one's just a little bit heavier and a little more beastie if you're looking for that more kind of 5-inch feeling. And I love the power to weight ratio with the Emax Tiny Hawk Freestyle, but this one is just it's just a whole nother level. So I'm gonna recommend that if you already have FPV goggles, pick up a Phantom, because this quad is still kind of punching some of the other quads out of the way, even late in 2020. So the frame is great, easy to work on, easy accessible stack. And now that we have the CADX HD on here with DJI Digital FPV, I mean, it's fantastic. So I would highly recommend that you pick one of these up. I think that you're gonna be really, really happy with it. So let me know if you already have a Phantom and if you enjoy flying it down in the comments below. And I hope that you honestly enjoyed this video and this very honest review about the Phantom HD. I'm super stoked to have this one in my shop. So more reviews coming up soon, guys. We have some crazy iFlight Chimera 7-inch coming up on my channel, as well as a whole bunch of other new releases that are coming out for you guys. So a lot of times I get early prototypes and things like that, so please do subscribe on the channel. You're gonna see more super awesome quads, planes, RC cars, and all kinds of stuff on my channel. Guys, I'm Justin Davis. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.